unions and destroy unions and to keep workers from being able to form unions. But we say today, the right to organize workers and the right to have a union is an inviolable human right and must be respected in the United States of America. We join with you. We say no ban, no wall. Right now, the Trump administration has put forward a war and austerity budget. They would cut back funds for housing, cut back funds for health care, cut back funds for education, cut back funds for Meals on Wheels and for our senior citizens. And yet, while they would cut back all that money from domestic programs, Trump would waste $2.6 billion to build a wall. We say no wall. Spend that money on people's needs, not on no damn wall between Mexico and the United States. Brothers and sisters, we unite today our struggle with your struggle. Your struggle is our struggle, and our struggle is your struggle. We must tear down all these banners that divide, all these barriers that divide working and poor people. This is how the ruling class has been getting over on us. They are making war against us. They're trying to roll back not just women's rights, not just civil rights, not just labor rights. They are trying to roll back the gains that working people have made since the New Deal. The truth of the matter is, they don't want you to have a living wage. They want you to have a slave wage. The truth is, they don't want you to have unions so you can negotiate for higher wages and better working conditions. They don't want us, period, to have life, brothers and sisters. But we stand here today and say, build the movement, bring all the sections of the working and oppressed people together in one mighty movement to do what Dr. King said in his last days. What did he say in his book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community? He said, Dr. Martin Luther King said, we need a radical restructuring of our socioeconomic system. Dr. Martin Luther King said, we need a radical redistribution of power and wealth in America. In short, what we need is not just reform, we need revolution. And let us go forward and make revolution together. Power to the people.
Okay, thanks, Larry. Now we want to introduce our one of the last speaker, Jay Arena. And after Jay, we are going to have the 50 Rotten System Band performing, and then we are going to close, and then we are going to march to NJ Pack at 5:30. So
Alejandro tried to steal my job. It's my pleasure to introduce Jay Arena. He is a Newark resident who has been an activist for many years. He is helping to organize the Rapid Response Network against ICE raids, and he is a member of Movement for Socialism. So here is Jay Arena.
Thanks, Laura. Let's hear it. Los obreros unidos jamás serán vencidos. Los trabajadores unidos jamás serán vencidos. The workers united shall never be defeated. Be it said in Spanish or English, in French or Portuguese, in South America or North America, in the Caribbean or right here in the Atlantic coast. It's the same struggle, the same fight, the same struggle, same fight. And at the top of that fight and at the top of our struggle is the struggle for equal rights for all who live here. Equal rights for all who live here. That means immigrants have full rights to live and work here. Full protections, including the right to vote and the right to be a citizen if they so choose. And that means, to make that real, building a movement to protect our brothers and sisters, our fellow working class immigrants. That means building a rapid response network to tell the ICE to keep your dirty hands off our brothers and sisters. ICE out of Newark! ICE out of Newark! ICE out of everywhere! ICE out of everywhere! And equal rights for all means people around the world have the right to stay put. They have the right to stay put in their community wherever they are and not to be driven out by U.S. military, economic, and political aggression. Hands off Venezuela. Hands off Syria. Hands off North Korea. Hands off everywhere by U.S. imperialism. Equal rights for all also means ending all forms of racism and discrimination against all sectors of the working class. That means to defend African Americans against racist attacks, Muslims and Arabs, women, working class women, and LGBTQ people. And we need to unite the entire working class, black and white, immigrant and those that are born here, gay and straight, to unite against our common enemy and to win the rights that none of us have. Among those, we don't want walls, we want housing for all. Right. We say hands off Terrell homes in the ironbound community that Trump and his local collaborators are trying to destroy. Hands off Terrell homes. We say no to the real estate sharks and their allies in City Hall and in Washington that are driving out working class people, black and white, immigrant, and those born here, right in the city of Newark and cities around this country. We say instead, housing for all through a direct government employment, public works program to build housing for all, public housing, well-built, well-located, democratically run. We say no wall. We want free, quality, public, free, higher education from K through 12 through college education. We don't want these capitalist vultures, these hedge funders, swooping in and privatizing our public schools like these parasites have done in Newark over the last 2 decades and around the country. Drive these parasites out and build massively public schools for all and hire thousands and millions of teachers with union protection. We don't want walls. We want tunnels and free quality public transportation for all. And we can win this by uniting the entire working class for a mass direct government employment public works program. So let's end it with this. Build houses, not the wall. Equal rights for all. Build the schools, not the wall. Equal rights for all. Build the tunnels, not the wall. Equal rights for all. Venceremos!
Thank you, Jay. So now we are going to have the performance